Hey there, Internet. Welcome back, grubs and scrubs. I say that as if there is an audience coming back. But you know what? That's fine. It doesn't matter. I know a couple people watched, and that's enough for me. We are back. We are back with the Cripplezon,
Afternoon.
and we are going through Act 5. Now, anyone who looks back at the last video and is, saying, "Oh, well, why did it take you 50 million hours to clear Act 4? Act 4 is a short act." There's a reason why. We cleared Act 4 nice and fast. Then I went and farmed the pits. I believe on Players 5, one of the toughest areas in the game, with this 60 damage bow. After clearing Act 4 with the 60 damage bow, so we could get a hustle base, just in case I do feel the need to switch over to a mercenary. I still haven't felt the need to upgrade my bow. I've got the runes here to do it. It's all good. Everything's ready. Wait, here it is, yeah. The pole. But it's fine. 60 damage bow just keeps trucking. Let's go. Let's go bully some monsters. Although, Act 5, it's always a bit of a clench moment coming out here, because if you get, like, archers and quill rats, the only thing that's getting bullied is you. But look at it. Come on. Again. 60 damage bow. Just chips them down. And look, like, they're just harmless. They can't do anything. They're depressed. You know, they're vitamin D deficient. They don't have enough iron in their diet. They're just slow. They're sad. They can't do it. Like, they're sleepy all the time. They're overwhelmed with malaise and crippled by their own crushing ennui, and just helpless in the face of their own existential dread. They can't do anything. Look at this guy. Look, he's trying to throw stuff. He can't throw anything. Like, you're harmless. Like, these are one of the most dangerous things in the game, and now they're just harmless because you see them winding up, and then you just kind of say no, and you move very calmly. Normally, you can't dodge missiles when you're using strafe. The animation is too long. But we don't want to spend, like, all day here, the stinky plains of Stink. We want to get to Shank. Yeah, so I don't want to stand, like, right on top of them, because then I don't have time to dodge. And that's not, like, the smartest thing, dying. We prefer to avoid that if possible. Just, for my own emotional well-being, because dying makes me feel, like, sad. Ew, something hit me kind of hard there. But this is, like, a nice mob. And we'll just get a good angle on them, strafe away, wait until the curse procs, and then they're just going to have a really bad time. They're already having a really bad time. Like, there's a lot of, just nastiness being spread. They're all slowed. The open wound is... I'm having really bad luck with the curse proc here, but it's fine. Oh, there we go. There we go. A little bit of a curse. There goes another one. If you don't get it now, you get extra later, so, it's all good. Yeah. And yeah, I try not to get caught up in these fights running through it, but then, we're going to see like a champion pack or something, and those spears hurt. Let me, yeah, just resummon the Valk so she can eat the spears, because it's her job. I'm like the manager. I'm the shift manager. I tell people like what to do and where to go. And I cripple and debuff everything. But it's all kind of their problem, isn't it? And this is a really bad, there are maps that are really good for Bolazon, and there are maps that really suck. And this is a map that really sucks, because you want this angle, but I can't, I can't have this angle. I can't have nice things, because this is just a terrible map. But that's fine, we just don't spend too long here. Like, I spend my time in a location that's more rewarding. But there is a boss mob here, and we'll finish them off. When you can't get a good angle with strafe, it can take a little while to just kind of chew through them. But look at this, I'm ant damage, these are ranged enemies. I should be, this should be brown trouser stuff, right? And it just isn't. We're just happy, they're just sad. Like, what can this guy do? He can't do anything. And then he dies. And look, he's just slowed. He's just depressed. He's not happy. This guy's still alive. I don't know who said he could be alive. Probably my mercenary, because my mercenary refuses to do anything about it. But we'll just chip him down. If the curse goes off, he loses his physical immunity, and, you know, we got it. If anyone's curious, I mean, I've already done, like, gear checks, but the mercenary has better gear than I do. The mercenary has, like, the proper setup. Is there another curse? If I was playing, like, a barbarian or something, I would be molding about 2 curses in a row, forcing me to, like, scurry back to town. But this is my setup here. Nothing valuable, nothing precious. And also, you can change this around quite a bit. Like, Blackthorns and Clegs would probably be enough with, a, you know, an Eagle Horn or something if you wanted. Or you could probably lose Blackthorns with these two. All in all, you know, you got options. The Crushing Blow is nice. Mainly for boss fights and, like, really chunky, like, champion packs, like Possessed and stuff like that. The Slow and the Open Wounds is the main thing. And, of course, the Atmoscarab. That's super important. Because, you know, because we are shooting, like, machine gun arrows, but not doing a huge amount of damage, you know, it synergizes for us to use the curse with that, because it means we get a lot more procs on the curse, and the curse is so devastating. Like, you know, I think there is genuinely an argument to be made that Atmoscarab is better than High Lord's Wrath, and I have a High Lord's Wrath, by the way, so I have like 2 High Lord's Wrath. They're not that hard to find, so this isn't just like copium from someone who could, you know, who doesn't have a better amulet to slot. Because double damage doubles your damage. We know that, right? That's what Critical Strike does. At high level, High Lords is giving you a pretty solid chance of crit, but not guaranteed. It can also affect breakpoints and so on, because it gives you, you know, it's plus skills, it gives you attack speed, blah blah blah. It's not just the crit strike, but the crit strike is the strongest mod on it, I would say. Now, Atmos, so just let's talk about amp damage. So for one thing, if a monster has stone skin, they don't give a shit that you crit strike. 0 is 0. You can double 0 as many times as you want, it's still 0. They do care about being amp damaged. Everything in hell, like if you wonder why you can be like chewing through stuff, play as 8, Nightmare, doing good, or play as 5, play as 3, whatever, you know, you're in Nightmare, you're happy, you're like hydrated and in a good place, you know, you're content with your life decisions up till now, and you think they're leading you someplace good. Well, now you go to hell, and suddenly you, you know, it takes you a week to chop through one zombie on the freaking Bloodmaw, and, you know, you have a mental breakdown, you get really depressed, you quit your job, you stay in bed for like 4 weeks. It's not good for anyone, right? The reason why that happens is because everything in hell just has a flat 50% physical damage reduction. So your damage, not only does everything have more health, but your damage just got halved. Have fun with that. It sucks to be a physical damage dealer in hell, but you know what turns that shit off? Amp damage. Amp damage says, sorry, you don't get physical damage reduction. So even that component of amp damage is just flat doubling your damage by removing the bottleneck that halves it. So it's not essentially, it's not a buff, but it's removing a debuff. So it's effectively a buff. But then it still provides a buff on top of that. So the damage that you get from amp damage is disgusting. It is massive. It's like things that you can barely hurt suddenly are falling over. Because not like that 50% damage reduction is also just a baseline. Like some things just have more. Some things are just flat physical immune because they had 50% in Nightmare and now they have 50% in Hell, like Stone Skins, for example. Well, you know, amp damage says, sorry Stone Skin, you're not Stone Skin anymore. It doesn't buff your damage against them, but it strips their physical immunity. I think it strips it all. So it gives you a plan for physical immunes. And what else are you going to do? As a Boazon, what else are you going to... What are you going to max Magic Arrow? Like, who's got 20 skill points in this economy? 1. Sure. 2, even when it's maxed, it sucks. You know, so what are you going to do? I don't know. Just be sad, I guess. Hope you have a lot of elemental charm. Like, nothing's going to care about your elementals. This is hell. Everything has at least 75% resistance to pretty much every element. Unless you're a sorceress with freaking cold mastery, there's no point having stacking elemental damage. Or you're like a lightning zone and you're just stacking it out the tits. You know, you're doing like 20,000 freaking lightning damage when you hit stuff. You know, then yeah, then it's okay. But you're not going to get that from charms. You're not going to get that from like a bow. So this is your this is the only plan as far as I'm concerned for dealing with physical resists in hell. You know, unless you have something easy to spec into like Berserk or I don't know. I would say Vengeance, but Vengeance is so freaking bad. But if you hit a lot, you know, like you're a Zeal Power, you've got that Smite, fast attacking weapon, you know, very, very happily put on an Atmas, and you just suddenly not have problems with Stone Skin. This is a really annoying position here, and yeah, I just can't get like a good, they would call it an enfilade, like a good angle where I'm kind of piercing through the group. Also, my Valkyrie is just being, like, really exceptional on this map. Which is annoying, because I have 20 points and she can actually do, like, legit damage if she actually physically walks up to the enemy and attacks them, which she doesn't seem to want to do. But it's okay. I need to, you know, just re-summon her more. I'm probably going to have to go back for some healing potions, I suppose. These jerks wouldn't drop some for me, would they? No? Like this guy. So this map is just horrible. But, you know, that's one of the things about this game, is like a lot of this game, you kind of just... Like, there are a lot of places in this game where there's really no reason to be there. You're just kind of killing the stuff that's physically in your way, and then going through. And then you're getting to a place where you can actually, you know, farm and get things done. Like here we can do some Eldritch farming if we wanted, but I don't need to because I'm a good level. But what I actually want is to just get a good angle on these jerks, and then we can come down and start dealing with Shank. I wish I knew where my mercenary was. You know what? I'm sick of his shit. Let's get him to actually freaking come and do something useful with his life. Look at, they're still slowed. I can go back to town and they're still slowed. It's so gross. Like, look how depressed they are. They're poisoned, they're sad. Like, this is like memeing this build. Like, I have all these poison charms. Like, I could have part charms that like sort out my resists or give me like plus max damage or something that, you know, are genuinely going to help me and benefit me. Instead of just memeing with poison charms when I already have open wounds, I already have prevent monster heal. Like, it's just completely not necessary. Everything has like so much poison resistance in hell. The DOT is irrelevant. It doesn't benefit from amp damage, but it's fun. I like seeing stuff green, and you know, when everything is slowed 75% and is just crippled and useless and sad and depressed, you don't need to kill it quickly. It doesn't matter. You don't need to min-max that much. Like, min-max as much as you want if it's fun, you know, but this is fun for me. This is min-maxing slow. And let's just chew through Shank's stinky minions. He's got the curse on him. He's not, like... Why is my Valk running away? Down he goes. Oh, healing potions, mana potions. Lovely, lovely. We will take all donations. The less I have to go back to town, the better.
Oops. Did I do that?
But yeah, so like, you know, typically, if you're trying to play this game in a somewhat optimal way, you're kind of just going to run through the foothills. God, the attack rating on multi-shot is so unusable. Like, I have a lot of decks, by the way. This game is just so fucked and cruel to, like, melee characters. And this is genuinely one of the few ways to play a character that needs to hit things that isn't a caster and not be depressed about it. Like, there will still be things where you're going to be like, oh my god, I just, like, you know, like, I just fanned, like, 700 arrows into a massive monsters and, like, hit nothing. Because attack rating, go fuck yourself for not being a caster. You know, it's not like casters have shit damage, so it, like, is justified by them, you know, hitting constantly. Like, they actually just have, like, their DPS is usually just flatly better, even when you factor in... Oof, okay. Yeah, we don't want to be messing around with these guys, because I have, like, negative fire resistance. But yeah, so, like, when I say, you know, the game is just, like, really, really cruelly unfair to a melee character, it's like, if you want to know why people don't play something like Strafe Bozon, you don't see that played in, like, hardcore, I'll tell you why. Because it's terrible. Okay, I mean, look, every melee class in this game stinks from, like, a solo self-found perspective, or a ladder perspective, because you need gear stacked to the tits to not be pathetic. And for that reason and that reason alone, you're just gonna have a bad time. Like, you're not gonna, like, you spend most of your time farming for gear and you're worse at farming. Like, it's just indignity stacked on indignity. Like, but this just says, you know what? Fuck you. Like, you don't play fair. You want me to be pathetic. You want me to be bullied by everything. Like, I can't hit anything. I can't freaking do anything. I'm not even, like, tanky to, like, make up for it. Like, my resists are in the fucking toilet because... that's a pretty cool base. But yeah, it's like my resists are in the freaking toilet because I've got a two-handed weapon, which, like, doesn't do anywhere enough damage to actually justify the fact, you know, that I can't use it with a shield. Like, you know, like why? Why do Boazons just do less damage than Javazons? Like, Javazons just do better and more reliable damage with, like, terrible equipment? Because, you know, because literally one is melee and one isn't. It's that fucking simple. Like, one is a caster, one is melee. And if you can put a caster build on your character, you know, just put a caster build. Like, if anyone has to play through the game, you know, with a barbarian, they play through as a singer. If they have to play through as an Amazon, they play through as a Javazon. If they have to play, you know, a Necromancer, they're not going to play a freaking Poison Dagger Necromancer. I mean, that's a meme, but, like, you know, it shows you how miserable... Like, Necromancer's the strongest thing in this game, right? He has Corpse Explosion. It's the single strongest ability in this game. Maybe Teleport for its, like, tactical application. But for raw combat power, nothing messes with Corpse Explosion, right? It's not a boss killer, but who cares? Bosses are the easiest part of hell. Bosses are hard in normal, but they're easy in hell. Like, anyone can craft some blood grubs and get Crushing Blow. Anyone can, like, stack open wounds, you know, build a strength, build a black. Like, the tools to deal with bosses are just there. They exist. Like, you can target farm resistance gear. Like, really easy. I mean, like, you can, like, make it in the cube kind of thing. You know, like, you can just make, like, So like you're coming up to Mephisto, you've got a terrible build, you've struggled through the Durance of Hay, you've been absolutely bullied, and you're just like, can I even beat Mephisto? Yes, 100% you can. Like, craft some blood gobs. There are recipes for crafting like rings with specific resistances and amulets with specific resistances. So just craft cold and lightning, drink some antidote potions, go in, and just kick his head in. Like, you have healing potions, he does it. And with Crushing Blow, even if you have a crap weapon, a bit of Crushing Blow, a bit of open wounds would be nice too, but, whatever. You'll just chip him down. Boss fights in this game are just not that scary. And yeah, I kind of just want to run past these guys. These are like the worst enemies for me to be fighting. And also, oh my gosh, okay, that's super spicy. So like, this is what I say, like, this should be my quick engagement skill, like my safe engagement skill, where I can just try to like tag things quickly. But it's not, because I can't tag things with it because it doesn't hit. So basically, I don't have a safe skill as a Boazon because the game, hates and despises everything that isn't, an elemental druid, a Hamadin, a sorceress. It's like viciously hates them and is racist against them and just wants them to be like weak and sad and depressed constantly. And if you play them, like, you can get fucked. That hate transfers onto you. They want you to be sad. They want you to be like crushed beneath the weight of your own depression and helplessness. Like, that's how like viciously there is so much vicious like anti-player bias in this game if you play a melee character. Like, it's just the balance is completely fucked out the ass in favor of casters in this game. Like, so fucked out the ass. Like, there are people who will say like, an elemental druid is the worst. Like, druids are the worst class in the game. It's like absolute nonsense. Druids can be built as casters and can finish the game with absolute ease by, you go fire skills through to Nightmare, and you literally play basically naked and crush the game on player's aid. Like, it's so easy. It's silly. Yeah, this is just a really balked... And like I say, I should be able to use multi-shot, but it's just a waste of time. Like, so I'm forced to use Strafe, which is this brutally unsafe ability that's like super janky. It's super hard to use. It like doesn't work properly in the sense of like, it's so positionally demanding. Bro, what is this? I'm sorry, there's just some shit on my screen that, like, I don't even know if you guys can see it, but it's really annoying me. But yeah, I'd love to go back down there now, but like, and finish that fight. But like I say, it's so positionally demanding that, like, this is a disgustingly horrible place for me to be. I do not, like, I'm going to be stressed until I can, like, get into a good position. But, that's the, like, this is in some ways the fun of playing this build, is like, so it's like the game is completely bullshit unfair to you, so you have to be completely bullshit unfair back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to use the dirtiest cheese. And the dirtiest cheese in this game, bar nothing, is slow. It's the only genuinely strong and broken thing that melee characters have that casters don't. I mean, casters still kind of have it because necromancers have Decrepify, and they even kind of do it better. So again, get fucked melee characters. But, like, okay, let's pretend, because we all know necromancers are like just the strongest character in the game. But yeah, now I can actually get an angle on these guys. There isn't shit like all behind me. So this is like the fun of playing this build, is like taking these fights from safe angles, clearing your sight lines, and then you just come in and you bully everything. Like, so now this dickhead who was causing me problems, look at him. Stop hitting yourself. Go fuck yourself. Get out of here. Like, you are just the dirtiest goblin when you use this build, and that's what makes it fun. Because it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, when you're just like sick of someone's shit, and you're like, alright, fine, we're gonna do it that way. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, alright, it's like that, is it? It's fucking no holds barred. Like, you're just going to be a complete cunt, and I need to be a cunt right back. Okay, fine. Like, that's how this game is for a melee character. These guys are so freaking dangerous, especially when my Valk is, like, just 7 screens behind me for no fucking reason, but whatever. But look at this. They were extra fast. They were super dangerous. Now they get tagged. Now they're just depressed. Now it's just easy. Now life is good. Now we're happy. Oh, it's a Kelpie snare. That's cool. Hold on. Hold on. What the hell? This is actually a decent little freaking weapon. 30 IAS, 200 ED. Attack rating. I wish that was a Frost Nova, but it is what it is. Oh, an Ethereal. What a find. Like, I've genuinely been looking for an Ethereal Kelpie snare to put on my Mercenary for, like, Mephisto farming, and then eventually upgrade it to the Elite base. Because Kelpie snare just turns bosses, like, you know, we were just talking about how, like, broken OP slow is. It's 75% slow. Like, you put that on your Desert Merc, he tags Mephisto once. Even if Mephisto just turns around and one-shots him for his freaking disrespect, like, he's slowed and crippled for, like, a minute. It's hilarious. But yeah, chewing through this barricaded door is making me think that, like, maybe the time has come to finally upgrade this bow. Like, I have zero qualms about my ability to just finish this act with this bow as it is. Because you can see, I'm killing stuff. I'm not running away from elites or anything. They die. But when it takes you like 30 seconds to break a door, you start to think like, you know what, maybe I could use just a little bit more base damage, just for quality of life. Ooh, that's a big old pack. You go over there, Valk. So just, it's like keeping the Fallen pushed back while we just like enfilade this group. Thankfully, we were able to get into a really nice position to just put some damage on them. Like, once we get into the tunnels, things will actually be not so bad for this build, because what we actually want lots of like chokes and tight confines, and there's nothing here anyway. Like, there's no reason to stay here. Yeah, like, look at this multi-shot. I can't even reliably tag Fallen with it. It's such a joke ability. So these guys remain annoyingly dangerous because you can't slow the shit on top of that thing when you slow the thing. So their DPS is not debuffed, and they just inferno the shit out of everything. But it's super safe for you to play around, but it's the kind of thing that, like, your mercenary gets tagged by a lot. Oh yeah, so another beautiful mechanic for this game that just exists because fuck everyone who isn't a caster is, so if you've ever wondered why you just can't hit things, like, you know, you look at your attack rating and you're like, I have 200 dex, like, I barely have any life because I'm pumping dex because I want to hit things, and I still just can't fucking hit things. You know, like, I'm not under-leveled, I'm maybe even over-leveled, and I just can't hit things. Like, why? Why did the game just, like, why? Like, do I actually have to have a fucking Angelix combo to just hit things? Like, should that just be, like, mandatory, like, open slot free, guaranteed fucking pick? You know, no choice in the matter bullshit that needs to go on a melee character, like cannot be frozen, because the game is just unplayable if you don't have it. You know, get fucked, suffer. Yeah, sure, like, the game is like that, and the reason it's like that is because not only is attack rating a thing, not only does attack rating not really give a shit about your actual number on your attack rating, so percentage-based attack rating buffs are worthless. You can literally have, like, plus 10 billion% attack rating and get nothing. What you want is flat attack rating. The game almost never gives it to you. Like, you have to sacrifice gear slots to get it. But the other thing is, even that is worthless if you're under level. So the only thing you can do is be over leveled. But let's say I do everything right. I'm a good boy, right? You know, I'm a cringing little shit. I've done every fucking thing the game wants me to do. I've licked its ass, right? I've fucked my character. I have no health because I pump deck so much. You know, so I have a big base number for my percentages to work on. You know, where's my reward? My reward is to get fucked, basically. Because hey, guess what? Monsters can also just block. And there's nothing you can do to change their block chance. Like, if you wonder why you just can't fucking hit Hell Bale, like, you know, you have all the attack rating, like, you have stupid amounts of attack rating, but you just can't hit Hell Bale. That's why. Because Hell Bale has, like, just a flat, huge chance to block. That's it. And there's nothing you can do about it. So, not only do enemies in Hell just have a flat 50% damage reduction against all physical attacks, they also have a flat however many fucking percent chance their block chance reduction is against all physical attacks. Now, and then the damage of your physical attacks is then reduced by a ratio of, you know, what your hit chance. So if you have a 70% chance to hit, you're actually doing 70% of your base damage. Well, now you're doing 50% of that because it's on Hell. Get fucked. You're a melee player. All you have to look forward is suffering. Go fuck yourself. Then 2 fucking layers of damage reduction, and then they get a fucking third by being able to block your shit. It's so fucked and stupid, but that's the game, and that's why, rather than saying, I'm going to chase the big damage and try to one-shot everything, which only works on players 1. I don't care what bow you have. Why? Why even play their game? Here's the safer thing to do. Slow it down. Slow them down so that the long time to kill isn't dangerous anymore. Because why do you want to kill things? Like, progression? Sure. But progression can also be attained by just ignoring things. In fact, often that is the best way to progress in this game. Because killing non-elites is a waste of your time. Like, my Valk just won't. Just won't do anything useful with her life here. But it's fine. I really want to be outside. Like, what just hit me then? I'm sorry? Oh, it must have been that. But yeah, I'm not worried about the Valk in this. The funny thing is, I played a Berserker with like Twink gear, shared stash, everything else. I could not beat Thresh Socket without full juvies, and I went through like 7 full juvies to kill him. It was the most like depressing shit you can imagine. Where it's literally like, this guy isn't even an act boss, and I don't know if I can kill him because he can just one-shot me when he puts that curse on me, and I have no counterplay to it. And, you know, even with, like, full synergies, Berserk, like a 300 damage sword, I just can't, like, one-shot him or, like, you know, I can't burst him down quickly enough that it makes his damage potential irrelevant to me. And that's on players 1, right? And you saw how easily we just dealt with Thresh Socket there. On players 3 with a 60 damage bow.
Good evening.
Like, the combination of slows target and amp damage is just, it is literally your ticket to having a fun time as a melee character in this game, assuming you don't have, you know, a stash full of like god tier elite uniques to just, you know, pump yourself up with, or, you know, a bunch of like crazy high runes, just make the best endgame stuff, you know. If you're in that situation, like, you can just have the most basic gear. But it doesn't work as, like, a genuine melee character. It's somewhat workable as a Blade Sin, but they don't have the kind of AoE that an Amazon has to just tag everything and be super safe. But like, what's a like? How is a barbarian going to use slow? I mean, I guess you could like whirlwind with slow. That's actually, I might even. You know what? I'm gonna try that next. Fuck it. The problem is the attack rating on whirlwind stinks. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. It's doable. You can't use amp damage as a whirlwind barb because the game hates whirlwind because it's the most fun melee ability. And, you know, like, imagine if the most fun ability was also good. Like, what would the world be coming to? You know, like, we can't have that. And he gets cursed and he pops. So, like, that's how you deal with the physical immune as a melee character. Like, I'm sure there's some bullshit rune work that can deal with them as well. That you can spend 2 weeks farming lower caress to make. Or just get an Atmoscarab. Or even just have a bow on switch that has chance to proc amp damage. As long as it fires fast, it will sort you out a treat. And it's the fact that, like, that physical immune, he just doesn't get to do anything while he's being chipped down. You know, the Frozen River bullet hell is going to be some fun with this character. But yes, alright, so you know what we're going to do? I'm not going to upgrade my bow, but I am going to change mercenaries. Because I have that option. And why not? So all this stuff I farm myself. So I'm going to make a Lionheart, which is Hell Lum Foul. Hell Lum and Foul. Not the most perfect armor. Maybe a waste of this really nice base for a mercenary. But I like it for mercenaries. It's, you know, bit of amp damage, strength, dex, vitality, energy. I mean, 50, big chunk of life, good resistances. And then we're going to make a hustle in this. And hustle is do the hustle. Do. Yeah, I probably should have just made a hustle in that, to be honest, for the IAS, like even go double hustle, but it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I wanted a Lionheart. So, hustle is Shale Co. L. Easy. So these are all like cheap. Shale. Like anyone can go farm a Co-rune, that's not hard. Co. L. And there we go. Not the best damage roll, but good enough. And then now I could make a Bulwark in that, but I honestly think he's going to be so safe with the slow that I'll just chuck the G-Face or even this guy's Shaco on him. The only problem is I'm really freaking running out of space to actually, like, just put stuff, if that makes sense. So, maybe time. Oh, we've got that, which is a really cool base to keep, even if it's just for like an honor or something. And I definitely want to hold on to this because I love good rolls on rares. But let's just do a little bit of cubing here. Man, I have no Rao runes. That's crazy. And, you know, a trillion shales and dolls, of course. Maybe cube some of these runes up. Alright, can cube up those topazes as well. topaz. I don't want to cube up any of the chip gems because they're so useful for upgrading runes. But it's possible that I should maybe actually just use them for that purpose. And yeah, that can go. It's cool, but it's not needed. Can probably get another Ami here. Yeah, easy. Oh, and another. Yeah, so much space to be made just cubing things up here. I think I've got a ruby somewhere. Yeah, alright. Beautiful. This is all just freeing up some real estate. Bit of like last minute inventory management. Hopefully I can avoid cubing the runes while I'm streaming because that just takes a little bit too long having to like look up all the recipes and everything, but hopefully just cubing these gems will sort us out to some extent. There's another 3. Cubable. Get your butt in that cube. Another topaz, another emerald, another ruby, but no space. Okay. You in there, you in there, you... Do we have a normal emerald by any chance? Nope, but I can cube up. Oh, okay, we got flawless here, alright. This is a problem when it starts to get like spread over so many stash tabs and you can't like easily see what can be cubed up and what can't. It really slows everything down. So I don't need the flawed. Alright, so I need flawless emerald. Bada bing, bada boom, that's done. And another flawless sapphire would be nice, but... I don't think the game wants us to have nice things. Now, I could roll these, but I don't have the runes. Alright, let me just make a little bit of space here. This should be fine. Yeah, what a cool find. The... Ethereal Kelpie Snare. That's been like on my list, you know. And, you know, sometimes you're kind of afraid to talk about stuff that's like properly on your list, like things that you really want in the game, because you know the desire sensor is going to like, you know, it's just going to make sure you have a really bad time, basically. Alright, I've got a couple of flawed rubies there, so certainly don't need to have that many. It's just that we don't have any like normal rubies, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Alright, there's got to be enough space. So, yeah, I mean, I could have just put the Viper Magi on the Desert Merc. It's probably better than the Lionheart, to be honest, but it is what it is. I kind of like the fact that we were able to like farm up a whole set for him. Feels a little bit cooler. Alright. And one more space free. That can actually just go there. That can go there. And yeah, G-Face ain't gonna go in there, but that's fine. I could use my Hell Socketing Quest to socket this Shaco, which is probably the best thing I have to socket, but... Oh yeah,
I can't carry
I
anymore.
want to keep that.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright, so let's go higher. And Act 2 Mercenary. Now I can't get a... I don't think I can get a Might Merc in Hell, but that's fine, because I actually want to start with a Blessed Aim Merc. Now if I upgraded the bow, I would get a Might Merc. But I don't think my physical damage is enough for it to really matter. So I want to get one with a good name, if I can. Because, you know, good names matter. But what do we got here? We've got... Wahid is a good name, but I don't want Holy Freeze. Oh, we got Might. Okay. Oh, we have Jamali with Might. Jamali is a good name. And then we have what? Al-Hazir with Blessed Aim. Damn, is he the only Blessed Aim? No, we got one. We got Vikyat with Blessed Aim. Kind of want to get Jamali. Just because, like, he is Jamali. And I will get attack rating from the Fanaticism as well, but... You know what? I kind of want to show you guys just how... stinky attack rating is. At least when it's based on a percentage.
I'll put that to good use.
So now we're going to have a Fanaticism Aura. The main benefit of that is attack speed. Even at very low level, it gives you a lot. And... yeah, we'll start him off with the G-Face. He won't have any leech, but I'm telling you, he's probably not going to need it.
I'll put that to good use.
And let's get back. I wonder if my portal's still around. Hell yeah. Look at that. Now I'm really curious to see. So A, attack rating now still sucks. And the radius on the aura seems to kind of suck as well, but that may make this not particularly worthwhile. Oh, the attack speed is so nice though. So the attack speed means more curse procs, which means like just so much more meaningful damage. And yeah, he might need the Bulwark just for, you know, a little bit of leech. But we'll see. I mean, he's going to do a lot of damage in there with that. Especially once they're amp damaged. He can put a lot of hurt on them. Alright, let's pop the urn. Oh, the attack speed is so good. So imagine if we actually upgraded this bow, so our base damage was passable, and then, you know, we stack Might on top of that, and then we've got the, you know, big attack speed buff from Fanaticism, like... It's just good. Life is just good now. I do like the static field merc, but honestly, like, if he can not die with G-Face on, I think he's gonna struggle to not die with G-Face on, like, even in the, His resistances are good. I think he just needs some leech. So I can use that mask to make a bulwark. Oh, he just got rolled over. Okay. This is a lot for a mercenary, for a melee mercenary to be dealing with. Like, this is actually just a lot. 2 huge packs of freaking Yetis, a bunch of ghosts. Oh, a ghost boss pack as well. Okay. Alright, you know what we'll do? We'll just portal back. I'll make his bulwark. I just remember what the formula is for that one. Shale Io Sol. Nice. Easy. Shale. Oh, that's right. Shale. Do I have an Io here? Io. Sol. Do we actually get a decent roll on that? I have no idea. The life leech looks very low, but it's fine. As long as he has some leech, because he's doing decent enough damage.
I'll put that to good use.
So yeah, he should do a lot better now. The thing is, like,
At your service.
because mercenaries are, you know, fundamentally melee fighters, kind of the only way to really make them better is to just over-level them.
How may I be of help?
Like, if you'll see it if you ever really, like, if you start farming Mephisto or something with, like, a sorceress, you'll see, like, until you start hitting the 90s, your mercenary will just die. But when as soon as your mercenary hits, like, level 90 or something like that, he just starts to not die. And the thing is like, it's so deceptive, because often what happens is, like, you make little gearing changes, like, throughout the process, because obviously that's kind of the puzzle of the game, is like, oh, my mercenary's dying, how do I keep him alive, right? The filthy little secret is that you don't. Like, I don't care what gear you have. If you have, like, a level 70 merc and you're taking on, you know, Mephisto or something, unless you, like, hell Mephisto, unless you have some kind of aura, or, you know, you're feeding him full juvies or something, like, he can just die, and it doesn't matter how, like, god tier the equipment you put on them is. And then you can find that then that same mercenary just suddenly stops dying, and, you know, like I say, you can think, you can, like, kind of delude yourself into thinking that, like, oh, it's, you know, that's my, you know, that was my, like, clever gearing changes. The truth is, it was just because you ground levels. Like, it's like, it's a combination of the two. I'm kind of being a little bit glib about it. Oh, he's cursed. So this will be a real test for the mercenary. They're slowed, and he's leeching, and yeah, so that's just the... Yeah, so he just needs to leech. Not even a lot. And now he's just fine. And, you know, if that means we lose his crushing blow, that's fine, because he's not really there to do damage anyway. Well, not that sort of damage. Like, I already pump in enough crushing blow to not be reliant on him doing it. It's just little things like this, like positional things like this, that do make the game fun to play as, like, builds like this, is, like, just coming back from that corner a little bit, and now we just, like, spray these snowdrifters down without being, you know, just constantly like picked at by the Succubi, and then Pierce is so good and so strong that it just kind of cleans them up for us. And like, look at this is a 60 damage bow, need I freaking remind you. And we like, look at that. Even with Blessed Aim, even with all this dex, we just don't have the best chance to hit. It's like 80 something%. But when you're firing this fast and you pierce, and I mean, look at the merc. Look at the merc. Like, if you just want to clear the game, right, without having to do anything, you know, pants browning, like the sort of things that you have to do when you play a sorceress. Like, oh, look, I can't hurt anything in this area, so I have to just kind of teleport through it. That's a fun, like, don't get me wrong, sorceresses are the best characters in this game, and they are some of the most fun to play. Because sorceresses can like control their positioning and also the position of their merc in a way that like just really tickles your brain when you're playing as a sorceress. But clearing the game as a sorceress is not fun. It stinks. Like, I mean, be a cold sorcerer and like Act 5 as a cold sorceress, like every fucking thing in Act 5 is just immune. You just get fucked. You just be miserable and be unhappy. Like, it's just so bad. You know, but once you have the freedom to kind of go where you want, do where you want, you're just farming like the ancient tunnels, you're farming Mephisto, then the game is just your oyster. You're just like the king, and you just kind of swag walk on to like your chosen tile set. You murder everything effortlessly. You don't need amazing gear. You do it with 400% MF. Like, so like, don't like, you know, sorceress gameplay is like, end game sorceress gameplay is arguably the best gameplay in the game, purely because of that mobility and, you know, just the fact that there's no massive like gearing puzzle for their damage. I don't know why, I cannot hit this ghost. But like, my effective damage has just gotten such a nice boost, because like chance to hit for me is so freaking important. I do want to find Anya, because the Frozen River is going to be like such a test. It's usually down. Oh, okay, I was hitting the ghost. So not all ghosts are immune to physical, as far as I remember, but these ones are, and that's fine. We just get the curse on them and then they pop. So we don't have our mercenary anymore for like dealing with these immune to physicals, but like in hell, the odds that like, you know, you're going to come across a lot of immune to physicals that are just immune to whatever element your mercenary does. So I don't really see that as a solution. I like the electric merc, and I think he's super underrated just because of the consistency of his AoE damage and because he statics, and static is super strong. And also because the mercenaries, and this I think is one of the reasons why people don't talk about them too much, is there isn't a particularly big gearing puzzle for the Act 3 mercenaries. Like, we all know what to put on them. Like, it's just like, you know, stealth, Ancient's Pledge, Spirit, Lore, and then like upgrading that to like, I don't know, a Shaco or a Circlet with faster cast and plus skills. You know, upgrade the stealth to a Viper Magi, you know, just upgrade the Ancient's Pledge to a Lidless Wall or something, you know, something that's going to give more cast rate. Because all you want is cast rate. Everything scales off cast rate. Plus skills are good, but cast rate is better. So there isn't like a big gearing puzzle for those guys, but that does not mean they are not good. Like, they are really good. And the consistency of their damage, without them, like... So this guy looks like he does, like, chunks, right? Like, look at that. 400 to 1,700 damage. He's not even, like, a Might Mercenary. He has no buffs to it. And he's attacking really fast with, like, Strafe, Fanaticism. So he looks like he should chunk. He doesn't hit all the time. It's not as much as it looks like. You know, the sorceress is like, let's say he's shooting fireballs into this group. He's hitting 3 enemies with every fireball. So even if the fireball is like, I don't know, let's say the fireball's only, 500 damage. It's not. It's more. But let's say the fireball was like, 600-700 damage compared to this guy's, potential 1700. It's not. It's more. The fireball is actually like closer to like 1500, 2000, because the game just is not balanced for casters. But imagine it was, and he hits 3 enemies. He guaranteed hits them all. And suddenly that 1500 damage is 1500 damage into a mob. And if he hits 4 enemies, it's 2000. Like, anything with AoE has tremendous, like, multiplicative benefits. The more enemies there are, the better it does. And the static field mercenaries are just, like, a blessing if you don't have, like, AoE damage, right? But you're tanky, and especially if you can help them stay alive. So it's really good for this build, because, like, this build isn't tanky, but you can, you just tag everything with slow, and then they stay alive, right? But look at this, I haven't even had to give this... Like, since I gave him that leech, he hasn't needed a single potion. And he's gone into some disgusting stuff. And, like, look at these. He's got the curse on them. They can't do anything. They're just getting chipped down now. They're just depressed. They're not happy. And they're just being, like, bullied back by the knockback. Go away. On your bike. On your ghost bike. You wouldn't have dropped a mana potion, would you? You freaking assholes. Like, you drain mana, but you don't drop mana potion. Absolute twats, man. You would think what a revelation, right?
Good evening.
Members of the Infernal Legions are jerks. Who knew? Bunch of complete jerks. Spite you even when they die. But yeah, so freaking hard. Like, now imagine if I upgrade this bow now. Like, at that point, it's just Jova. Like, it's already Jova. There's no way I don't clear this act, like, in a really comfortable way. The only way I'm going to, like, have deaths is if I do stupid things like that, like just walking around the corner when I could throw the Valk around the corner. Oh, someone's got a Might Aura here. So you can use, like, multi-shot like that to kind of comb an area. I still almost get freaking charged by Rot Walkers. Big pack of Succubi. Okay, the Merc needs a potion, but that's fine. Like, this is just so comfy, and with the Fanaticism, I don't even feel like my base damage is that low. Oof, that's a teensy bit scary. Alright, let's just proc a whole bunch of slows on them, and then we just go in for the strafe once they're, all CC'd and safe to fight. And, like, look at this. They're devastated by the CC. Like, this is a dangerous mob. They have a Might Aura, and there's another elite right behind them. So just 2 elite packs back to back. They're hurting my mercenary a little bit. But you just give him a potion, he's fine. And yeah, we just chop through them. It's the way I describe this.
I am overburdened.
That's potentially a really cool base. And if it's ethereal, it's even sexier, but get out of here, frozen creepers. I don't got time for you. You're creeping. Ooh, okay, that's
I
cool.
can't carry anymore.
Let's see. You can so. 4 socket. I don't know what you can do with that, but I feel like I should hold that. 1. Alright, yeah. Freaking jerk. Maybe I'll hold on to that. We'll see. I'm stacked on mana potions. Okay, so who had the Might Aura? The auras in hell are silly. Like, the radius they have. where, you know, you end up fighting like 5 mobs with the aura because it just spreads like freaking cancer across the tile set. Yeah, so we just got to clear these guys from behind us, and then we can kind of just push on safely. And that's always the name of the game, is to just like clear your angles, you know, make space from which to push out. And there, so we... Oh, okay, something really freaking hurt there. I think I just need to play a little bit of bullet hell. But yeah, you're definitely fragile, and something there is hurting because it really chunked the merc down. Still chunking him down. Is it just because of the number of arrows hitting with the lightning enchantment? The lightning enchanted, I kind of... When I was like just even thinking about this build and thinking about putting this together, like I just knew right from the off that lightning enchantments were going to be super dangerous. Oh, that's a nice charm, 22%. And I have really bad fire resist. Oh wait, it's poison resist. What the fuck do I care about that? Get out of here. So like here, it's not the safest, because like we want to clear that spot, but we can't get into a good position to clear that spot. So we just kind of have to do it the slow way, and that's fine. But the way I liken this is I say it's like chewing food. Like the enemies at this point are just like food on my plate, and they could be like tough, they could be chewy, they could be like overdone, and it could take me like a long time to just like chew them up and eat them. But they're still just like, you know, like you don't have to fight food on your plate to eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have to chew it, yeah, and it might take a fair bit of chewing. But, you know, it's not a combative process. The food is not dangerous to you. It's food. It's your food. And that's what these guys are. They're just food now. And it might take us a little while to, like, chew through them. But we will. Because we have that time. We have all the time we need. Because we've just completely negated any threat that they offer. They're just turned off. They're broken. They're sad. And what can they do? Literally nothing. Look at this. Like, I'm not even like I don't even think I would need to upgrade this. Like, I might just for like, I don't know. Maybe I'll do the bar waves and then upgrade it and do the bar waves again or something. Like, I know that this bow can kill the ancients. Not even a question. The ancients are utterly crippled by slow. So this is dangerous. And this is where it's like, okay, multi-shot is your, like, safe tool. But at the same time, you know, if we can get those guys coming down towards us and then we just pick them off. And keep spraying a bunch of multi-shot in there. Resummon the Valk. Hearing those curses going off. And, you know, we just like long-range artillery at this point. Like, it's super safe. Like, I don't want to get hit by these, like, balls, so it's a little bit bullet hell, but it's like, hey, you know, if you never had to, like, even move, you're not even playing the game anymore. And look at that. Like, there are builds that just, like, I used to play a decent amount of hardcore in this game, and I can tell you the number of times you just skip this on hell because 10 resist all is not worth. Like, this area is one of the most dangerous areas in the game. Like, this area can be hell. Like, it can be beyond hell. And, like, you know, there's just masses of stuff like bullet helling you from, like, across water. You can't get to them. You know, you have to like fight through all these like really like tanky, like melee, just spongy enemies. That could be cool to roll sockets into, but I need runes to do that, and I'm just not finding the runes. It's really weird. But like low runes get hard to find as your level starts to go up. Yeah, I went the wrong way. That's fine. Like, this area to me is like, I don't want to be down here when I'm playing even a sorceress. Like, oh, I don't want to be a sorceress down here. Like this, immune to cold, immune to cold. But you just use your ranged advantage, you kite stuff, you poke, you put the slow on it. Like, a lot of things in this game just get straight broken by slow. Like, they have animations that, like, they get timed out of. So, like, Urdars, for example, they have that really big, like, swing animation. You know, the guys with the big clubs, gorebellies, whatever. You know, I don't know what the actual, like, name is for the type of creature, but you know what I mean. The big guys. The big guys with crush and blow, and, you know, they're scary. Like, those guys, when you slow them, half the time, they can't even finish their attack animation. Like, they are actually 0 DPS. Because they will start to do the swing, and then the game just kind of times them out because they take so long to complete their animation that they kind of just reset and start it again. And as I say, I don't want to come down here. As my berserker, I came down here, and you know what I did? I howled everything. I ran like a coward. I ran to Anya. Like, I did a bunch of howling at, like, Frozenstein and his buddies. So this would have been a way nicer base for his weapon, I think. But it's fine. So we just want to kill these guys just to clear this, like, sight line. But yeah, I cannot even imagine, like, what you do in this area if you are playing something with, like, no AoE, melee. Like, oh my god, what would you do if you're playing, like, a Maul or Fireclaw Druid? Or even a Fury Druid? Like, this is just where bad builds go to die. And, you know, we kind of have a bad build. We do not have, like, elite gear or anything. And we are just chilling down here. Like, this is a happy place for us. It's not sad at all. The challenge is extremely minimal. Like, there's some nice little mental puzzles, though, which is, like, what I love about it. But it's just so chill. But yeah, as I was saying, so I knew lightning was going to be a big issue. That's why I got Blackthorn Space. That's why I put an Alt Rune in it. That's why I got the Wisp Projector. Because, you know, like, I know my resistances are just completely blocked. But at least if I can have... Is this Frozenstein? He's not having, like, a happy time. And look at this, I can actually use multi-shot now. And not just, like, run out of all my mana from it not hitting and costing too much. And it's good, because it's really good for just spreading open wounds and slow. Ooh, that charge hurt. That must have been a crit. Fusina, very cool. Yeah, you wouldn't drop a mana potion, would you freaking jerk? Get out of here. And there we go, like, no running, You know, no like, oh no, I gotta get Anya. Oh, town portal before Frozen Steam kills me. Like, nah. We just come in, you know. And the monsters in the Frozen Passage are still going to be like telling their like monster children like scary stories about the day the Cripplezon came. You know, because it wasn't even quick. You know, it was like she wanted them to suffer, and you know, and successfully made them all suffer and killed them all very slowly, while they were just like powerless and depressed about it. Like, and they're going to be telling their children about that day for a long time. And I love that thought. Like, I love the thought of like causing, you know, generational trauma in
can't
monsters.
carry
You know, like
anymore.
isn't that why we play Diablo? I can't pick up the
I
thing.
can't carry
Because
anymore.
Come on. Drop the freaking arrows, lady. Pick it up. Do I even need this? It is an elite base. I don't even know what you do with 4-socket armor. It's fine. Yeah, you go see your mama. And, you know, we just walk out. Everything's dead. It's a literal swag walk. Not looking at the explosion behind us. You know, as the entire frozen river just explodes, and we just like calmly walk away, adjusting our sunglasses. Like, okay, this guy has to just ruin our moment. So that's fine. Alright, as I was saying, you know, adjusting our like polarized sunglasses, walking away from the exploding, you know, frozen river in slow motion. Oh, evil urn, nice. Alright, let's go. Boo. Oh my gosh, look what they did to my mercenary. I got the full juvie on him, like, just in freaking time. They absolutely bodied my boy. What did they do? Oh, okay, cursed. Yeah. And those succubus balls do physical damage, so like, ooh, they hurt like hell when you're cursed. But anyway, as I was saying, save while pausing to open an evil urn, which, you know, can be kind of scary. We just swag walk out of here. This is still on Players 3, I think. It was on Players 5 when I was doing the pits. Honestly, I don't think I'd even notice it if I cranked it up now. I should get the waypoint. But I'm not going to get the waypoint. I'm never going to come back here. You know, this Amazon is not even that bad for farming Terra Zones. But it's just, where do you even get the MF? Because I was farming the pits with her, like, pretty happily. It wasn't, like, the fastest thing in the world. But, you know, what is when you're playing a melee character?
Good morning.
Silence. Open portal. You just gave me a freaking javelin, didn't you? Yeah, because you hate me.
Can I help you?
Well, I hate you too. Get out of my face. Like, I could go do some Pindle runs now, but I don't need the EXP, and since I'm playing on Players 3, you know, this all feels kind of cozy, like I'm getting a good amount of EXP just clearing the areas, because I'm not running through. Freaking ghosts, man. I had enough of you. Oh, you're just hearing that curse go off so much more now because of the fanaticism attack speed buff. Like, this is what it's about. Just like, brr, 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 Bogo, brr, monsters fall over. Merc is safe, Valk is safe. It's a level 20 Valk fighting stuff that's slowed 75%. Ain't nothing killing that Valk. And I know for a fact, if something does kill the Valk, then it is brown trousers scary. But at the same time, I can just resummon the Valk. Like, you know, a Valk is a mercenary that can't die. And there are dangerous things where it's like, okay, well, there's extra fast or something. They kill the Valk and they just immediately swarm onto you. And like, yeah, you can resummon the Valk, but the Amazon has really terrible fast cast. So you could honestly be dead before you've even summoned it. But even if you can summon it back, yeah, and this guy will just start to get nicely chunked. I don't want to be standing next to any unique that dies, just because of the possibility of like frost novas and stuff. My health is low, my resistances are bad. You know, we don't want to stand in frost novas. Yeah, like I said, it will be so much better once we get into these tunnels, and it's just been so much better in these tunnels. Yeah, like a mole bear and a lightning merc can be like a pretty decent combo. But still kind of slow. And so like the main thing... Pit Vipers. These guys are fun. Always a barrel of laughs, any form of Viper in this game. But yeah, the game just hates you if you have melee, if you're not a caster. That's why, like, the good Amazon builds are caster builds, like Lightning, even Cold. Cold Fire Zone, or Cold Poison or something. Like, mixing up the elements is totally viable. Curse the ghost, curse the ghost, curse the ghost. There we go. Like, I do not mind how long that takes. If it weren't for the slow, the time to kill would be bad, right? Because they're murdering your mercenary in the meantime, they're running over your Valk, they're chasing you around, and now it's like, oh, well, now I need to kite, and my damage is even worse because I have to stop shooting, you know, to, like, run back all the time. But as soon as you introduce slow, and you literally just get to stand here like a turret and go brr, 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 brr. When your mercenary and your Valk, because they both do passable damage at... Ooh, these guys are a little bit scary. Not now though. They've all been tagged. They're just little kittens. They're depressed. They're unhappy. They're getting killed. Let's just let these two just bully this guy. Look at this. Like, their damage is decent. You know, champion monsters are tanky as hell in this game. Especially on players 3. Skill issue shrine. Yeah, like, see here, so, like, there are times when, like, multi-shot is just kind of a little bit better in terms of, like, it all depends on the angles. And I don't want to, like, try to sneak into, like, a pocket to get a good angle on these guys, because they can just, like, turn around and use that frost breath nonsense on you, and that can do a lot of damage. They also just randomly, like, some of the monsters in this game will just kind of randomly not give a shit about knockback. So, like, knockback is not reliable. Slow is freaking reliable. The combination of knockback and slow is really good. Because, you know, knocking something back 1 or 2 tiles doesn't really matter when they just run straight back at you. And then, especially when the knockback itself doesn't necessarily trigger with every attack. Yeah, so this is the opposite of where we actually want to be. Like, we do not want to be fighting one group here and one group here. But when you have to, you have to. And they're all cursed now. And they just rumble. Players 3, hell, 60 damage bow. Just safely disposing of everything. And you watch this, like, this Ancients fight is going to be the funniest damn thing. Like, there will be mods that they can spawn with, which are basically just instant death to me. Like a Holy Shock Aura or something, or a, you know, Holy Fire Aura, even worse. You know, there's always a certain amount of, like, rolling the dice with the Ancients. Because unless you have, like, legitimate endgame loot on, like, a world-beatingly strong build, you know, some combinations of affixes on the Ancients are just, you're not having a good time. You know, like Cursed, extra strong. Fanaticism, God forbid. Might. And yeah, they just clump around the mercenary and the Valk, who are just in there chopping away. And we just slow everything. So I kind of want to try Whirlwind Barbarian, who slows as well, but it's not going to be as good, because you don't have the range advantage. There also are very few swords that are good and have slow. Okay. You know, there's a reason like hardcore players just don't even open those urns. But, you know, the privileges of playing softcore is you get to do silly things like that for a bit of extra EXP. Ethereal, please. Ethereal 3 socket, please.
I can't carry anymore.
I think I've got a 4 socket elite sword base. I don't know what I would make in it. I know there are some obviously rune words that can be made in it. Healing, please. Mana, that's nice of you, very kind. I hate having to go back to buy mana potions. Just like these 3 jerks, and we have to turn around and kill them now. It's a bit of a faff. But now it's like, you know, I can get into like a fairly cheeky spot to just like really DPS them quite nicely. Look at this guy over here, he's just depressed. Let's just bully him with guided arrows. Like, just sending him away. Like, sorry, no, go sit in the corner. Stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. I may go a little bit quiet every now and then during the stream because I'm waiting on an email to get something sorted that needs to be sorted, but it is what it is. Like, look at these guys just in the... And this is the really beautiful thing about slow is, like, they can't... Like, once they're in a nice mob like this, they have a really hard time, like, getting out of it. Aww, that's kind of, like, almost good with, like, both. And the extra MF. Yeah, here we go. Stinky Tundra. Hopefully there's nothing too hideous in here. They're kind of annoying. Oh my gosh, we've just got like... nothing but ranged electrical attacks. Of course. Yeah, help me break this door, boys. We don't want to stay here. This place is not for us. Look at these little shits. These guys are so annoying when you play a melee character or something. Are these guys extra fast or something? Let's do this nice and safe. Come and help me kill the door, please. We can just amp damage the freaking tower. Ugh, get out of here. It's like, these areas just stink for a strafe sorceress, because like, I'm just shooting a fucking tower. Like, if I was going to tweak this game, like, you know, tweak some of the skills and stuff in this game, something I would definitely do is I would make it so that, like, basically, like, when I click the button for strafe, I get, like, a cone. And then, like, where I place the cone is the direction I strafe in, so I'll only hit, like, I'll only auto-lock onto targets within that cone, if that makes sense. And that, to me, would make strafe, like, so much more fun and also more effective. Because it would give it some, like, you know, it would give some player control, which means skill expression. Yeah, so this is just, we have to kill them before trying to break that door. Which is, like, I get it. That, you know, they don't want you to just run through and skip everything. It's fine.
The morning comes.
The morning comes. Welcome to my shop. I already should have, like, a very, very small cold damage charm. Where? Attack rating, poison damage, dexterity, attack rating, poison damage, cold resist, poison damage life, all resistances, poison damage, poison resist. Huh, alright, I guess I don't have a cold charm. Very happy to sacrifice some poison resist. Wait, why does she not have mana potions? Oh, it's doing that stupid thing where... I freaking hate how that happens.
At your service.
Like, I have to go refresh the shop so that I can freaking buy mana potions from the healer, who's like, you know, you had one job, is to sell fucking potions. It's literally the potion seller meme. Like I'm saying, you know, Mala, I'm going into battle. I need your strongest potions, and Mala's like, you can't handle my strongest potions. I'm like, enough of your games, Mala. I'm going into freaking battle. I'm trying to kill Baal for you. For your stupid people that live on this dumbass mountain. Can I buy some potions? No, you cannot handle my strongest potions. Oh. Like, enough. do me dirty like that. Ugh, what a horrible door to get through. Especially with my Valk and my Mercenary just being like totally exceptional. But yeah, one of the things in this game that you will... Wow, this is so dense with like horrible shit that like... I'm happy to kill them all, I just want a decent angle, that's all. So they had hope for a moment because they thought I was running away. But no. Like, we could clear this entire tile set quite safely if necessary. Like, these are archers, they're dangerous. They're one of the few things that is genuinely dangerous to us. But look. They're just depressed now. They're too sad. They don't want to be here. I don't want them to be here, you know? It's just like... Oh, here we go. Champion archers. Dangerous. Not that dangerous, apparently. Go sit in the corner. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? And just for funsies. Wait, what? Nothing came out of the urn. What the hell? It was a scam urn. Fake news urn. What the... Alright, I don't mind cold mages. They're fine. My cold resistance is kind of in the toilet. All my resistance apart from poison are in the toilet. But it's fine. They can be in the toilet. Ooh. Is there any decent 2-socket sword? I don't think there is. Ooh, combat shrine. Brr. 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 I hear freaking quill rats, the most dangerous thing in the game. Like, if these guys get an aura, you will die so fast. It will traumatize you. Because you got... Oh, wait, I was a bear druid. I had 4k life. You know, I had a bulwark on. I had 10% physical damage resistance. Like, what just happened to my 4,000 life? Like, I was hitting something. I was leeching. Where did all my life go? Like, how can it just be taken away, like, so quickly and so easily without any warning? And, you know, then you go into, like, this existential crisis about, like, the fragility of life and, you know, how you can just be, like, going along happily one moment and then just lose everything. And it feels so cruel and so unfair. That's just the reality of playing a freaking bear druid. The worst thing in the game. Like, if you want to be tanky in this game, Barbarian is a good bet. But then your damage is kind of going to stink. Because Barbarians can use a shield quite decently. So much of your physical tankiness comes from having a shield. Like, there's no amount of life that compensates for not having a shield. If you want to see... I mean, I don't know how it is now. Maybe there's some amazing setup that people use now. But back in the day, I can tell you 100%, like, there was no PvP setup that didn't use a shield. For, like, serious PvP, even sorceresses would use shields and, like, spec into decks. And Necros as well. So they had block. Because block is just free damage mitigation. And if you go see what happens when, like, you know, a barbarian with, like, a one-handed weapon and a shield whirlwinds through a barbarian with a two-handed weapon and no shield, like, even if the two-handed weapon is way stronger, it ain't 75% stronger, because that's how much your shield blocks. Oh, that's so dangerous. Oh my god, look what they're doing to my boy. Look what they're doing to my boy. But yeah, just watch what happens. The barbarian with no shield just pops like a pimple, gets absolutely devastated. Because a shield, like, if I were to say to you, like, you know, if you were to,
Good afternoon.
you know, you're looking at your character screen and you're like, oh, you know, I'm playing like a sword barbarian or something, you know, and it's like the same, I found this really good sword, or I made a really good rune sword, or so, you know, whatever. I just really good sword, okay?
Afternoon.
And you're kind of getting some, like, anime heart eyes looking at the two-handed weapon damage. You're just thinking like, maybe, you know, like, ooh. And you're looking on your character screen and you're like, oh, looks good. It ain't 75% more. Because that's what you lose when you take off a shield. Up to, not guaranteed, but up to 75% more physical damage. That's what you take. You also take a crap ton more elemental damage. Because shields are so important to just sorting your resistances. You also lose potentially very strong affixes that you could have on your shield. Like, even if you just want to do more damage, like, there's a shield in this game that just gives you like 50% deadly strike. Like, that shield plus any you know, good one-handed weapon versus not that shield and, you know, any comparably good two-handed weapon, the one-handed weapon just does more damage, as well as you having a shield that you can put a diamond in to get, you know, 20 resist all, and it gives you up to 75% block chance. Like, when you start looking at it like that, like, that's what a shield can do for me. Hold on a minute, what? I do more damage with a fucking shield? And I take 75% less damage? Like, I take way less physical damage, and I take way less elemental damage. Like, it's just... You know, there's a reason why you just hate your life if you're playing, like, a bear druid, or, you know, even a barbarian with a two-hander. Like, a barbarian can make it work primarily because, like, Howl and Berserk are just like, chef's kiss, perfect synergy. Oh my god. It just got, like, bum rushed and really badly hurt. But that's what the Juvies are for. And, like, normally on this build, I don't even use Juvies, and they just stack up in my stash, like, forever. But I have used a few, like, running through here, and I can go back and grab some. Just grab a, you know, a double row of them even. Yeah, as I was saying, like, so... Okay, like, so you know in PvP, the metas are way more restrictive, and, like, people are taking shit way more seriously. So, like, if you know, if people are using shields in PvP, okay, that was really silly and dangerous to just run into that and strafe, and yet I got away with it because slow is so busted. But yeah, as I was saying, you know if people are doing it in PvP, it's because, you know, the numbers check out. It's the meta for a reason.
Fabled home of the ancients.
I don't even know if I'm going to need extra potions for this, but we'll get some just in case. Because, as I say, slow
Afternoon.
cripples the ancients. Of course, you do have to worry about Mr. Whirlwind Boy. He becomes way more dangerous when he's slowed, but primarily to, like, your mercenary. Oh, we're all instantly cursed. Let's just, yeah, put that shit to bed straight away.
How may I be of help?
Alright, what do we got here? So the main thing here is, like, I want an angle on Korlik and Talik without that happening. So he may just have to kite them a little bit. I don't want to get axes thrown at me, especially when that guy has... Someone there has a Holy Fire Aura, which I think can just ping me for a lot of damage. But look how far away we can play. We just play so safe here. I'm a little bit worried about my mercenary. Ugh, that sucks. I have to, like, take a really ghastly route out of there. And yeah, this guy slowly, very threateningly coming towards me. Because if he whirlwinds me with slow, I'm just dead 100 times over. And this guy could potentially one-shot me with his axes. He's a little bit scary. And he just wants... He just likes me, apparently. So does Mr. Leap Attack, but that's fine. Leap Attack's almost dead. Leap Attack is going to die very soon. I could probably... We'd be better off with, yeah, these arrows, because... they don't miss. And now it's just a question of chunking them down. You know, we just let Open Wounds and Deadly Strike do its thing. Those slow whirlwinds are super scary. But now we've got him cursed, and look at the damage he takes with all three of us just bullying him while he's cursed. And this guy is still a little bit scary, because I don't want him coming near me. That Holy Fire Aura, even just the aura on its own, can do a lot of damage. I don't know why he's just completely fucking ignoring the Mercenary and the Valk. There we go. Alright, and now we just chip him down. Look, once the ant damage goes on, just chunked. See the skills here. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Just basic shit. Standard boas on things. And we didn't get the quest dialogue or anything for some reason. Game just hates us. Now the problem here is, like, or I would say rather, you know, I'm quite confident here, because if you don't get the Ancient's Way waypoint, like, there's no convenient way to re-roll the Worldstone Keep. So I'm just confident that like whatever garbage they throw at me, we're gonna do this. Players 3, no worries. This is the final test. My Merc is going to get chunked hard by these champion Deathlords, but they're cursed, which means he gets a heck of a lot of extra leech. Because that's something else to bear in mind. Cursed. So in Hell, right, everything has 50% damage reduction. So you leech half as much as you say. Like if you have 10% leech, you actually have 5% leech. So this guy only has 2.5% leech with that helmet, which is still, you know, good because he's doing a lot of damage, but getting him back up to 5% with the curse is like really clutch for his survivability, especially when you're also slowing everything down 75%. So they're doing 75% less damage, he's leeching twice as much, you know, life is good. Just throw the Valk in there. I have to get like way more comfortable just like throwing the Valk around. Like this is hellish stuff. Come on, it's all Might Aura. They're cursed and fighting Might Aura. They should be dying like instantly and they're just not because everything is slow. Everything is just a pussycat. It can't do anything to you. It just kind of gently bats you. It's like angry Mr. Burns. You know, this guy. Star Touch the Dark is like, I'll give you the thrashing of your life, my son. Now he can't do anything. He's just in the corner. You know, Al-Khazir is just making him eat handfuls of ants. You know, the Valkyrie is just like sitting on him and like, you know, saying like, tell me I'm your mama. And he just has to be like, yes, Valkyrie, you're my mama. Yes, Al-Khazir, I love the taste of ants. You know, I'm sorry I keep hitting myself. You know, I'm a bad skeleton. I'm terrible. I'm a failure. I regret all of my life choices and I'm very sad. Like, that's how every fight goes. And it's just the best. Like, how could you not love it? Like, how can you not love just being a shit? Like, being a complete arsehole to everything. Being a total, like, jerk and a bully. Like, I have good bows. I have a Bariza, and I could use the Pulse Rune to upgrade the Bariza to Elite. Which I think, damage-wise, is the best bow in the game. Like, to hell with Wind Force. Wind Force does not have 100% Pierce. Ooh. Fanaticism Deathlords. And we don't even have a particularly good angle here. But I'm going to come down a little bit cheeky position to just try to strafe a little bit better. And look at it. Fanaticism Deathlords. Okay, they just insta-jib the Merc. But I don't the thing is, I don't have to worry about them just like instantly charging me if the Valk dies. Like, they're going to come at me, right? But they're moving so slow. I just kind of come back and kite a little bit more. And I might town portal back just because, like, we are in danger of running out of space there. And I'll get my mercenary. We're going for round 2. But, like, that is save and exit, like, level scary for most builds. Like, I'm sorry, your Barbarian's gonna do that? You know, maybe with, like, some god-level endgame Ubers setup, your Barbarian is gonna do that, but, a Barbarian with realistic gear finishing up Hell either saves and exits or gets utterly bullied and destroyed by something like this. Like, these guys are doing 75% less damage than they should, and they're still killing my mercenary. That's how devastating they are. And yet, we're handling it. Like, this guy has freaking stone skin. Look how tanky this guy is, even with the curse on him. Because these guys have a base physical resistance, so it's not stripping it all away. This guy has a stupid amount of physical resistance. But I don't mind. I got time. He doesn't. He's running out of time. Like, all he can do now is just look at the clock. No, like, you ever have those, like, horrible moments of introspection where you're just like, no matter what I do, I'm dying? You know? Like I'm falling. There's nothing I can do. Time is just slipping away. Good times, bad times, it doesn't matter. You know, it'll be like I was never even here in the end, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Like, it's coming. What was it? Philip Larkin said, you know, there's nothing more terrible and nothing more true. That's what, like, that's the emotional epiphany this guy is having right now. Like, I am actually running out of freaking mana because, yeah, so even with amp damage, there are still, like, true physical immunes in the game because they kind of have, like, multiple layers of, like, because these guys would just be immune to physical anyway, and now this guy's stone skin, so he gets an extra 50%, you know. You can only strip away so much. But this is something that we should just not be able to kill at all. And yet, he's dying. He's dying, I'm not. You wouldn't draw mana potions, would you, you freaking jerks? This is the world's going to keep. This is the scariest place in the game, and I am just not worried. Like, these corridors are the happiest place for me to take fights.
How may I be of help?
And the only thing I'm scared of is souls. Because I don't have range advantage on souls. Souls can snipe me from off screen, and that's scary. But I can snipe them from 3 screens away if I use multi-shot. I just need to play safe if I know there are souls there. And we got another curse. I think this is just a normal succubus curse. But the combination of like succubi and death lords is so scary because they're just going to consistently curse you, and then the death lords are already the most dangerous melee enemies in the game. Like, normally when I do the world score, I'm not stopping to, like, loot chests and stuff. I'm too stressed. I'm too depressed. I just want out. I'm looking for the exit. And look at it. Death Lords. Scary, scary Death Lords, right? Like, if you don't have good gear, and you're playing, like, a Zeal Paladin or something, I mean, if you have Smite, fine. But if you don't, or like a concentration barbarian or something, like you can just flat lose a 1v1 to a Deathlord. Like, that's how busted they are. But yeah, I'm seriously thinking about like Clegg's and Blackthorn's face setup on like a Whirlwind Barbarian, and then using like a really long polearm, like an Obedience and a spear or something. The problem is that you just get ruined by archers. Like, what are you gonna do? I guess you kind of have to like kite around them and play bullet hell until you can get a whirlwind in and slow them all, and I still think it's better with a shield. But what's a long-range weapon you can... And then it's kind of like, oh, well, then you kind of have to use a two-headed sword. And... like, barbarians kind of stink because of the mastery system. Like, low-key. Because it just feels bad in this game when you find something good that you can't use. And it's just like, you're already a melee character, you already have like the most depressing like gearing challenge in the game, where it's like everything is held hostage by you having a good weapon. And there's no way to like force the game to give you a good weapon other than just slow grinding. Like, you can shop for like a cool on an elite base that can literally take hours. You can like just grind Mephisto until he drops one of those like rare exceptionals that you can clear the game with, like Butcher's Pupil or Head Striker. Even then, like that's like a slow clear on players 1. You can make a rune word. And like you can do things like this character does, where you like stacking the curse with open wounds and so on. And like it's totally viable for this character because she slows everything down and has time. But like if you're physically in there and you can't like hit everything at once with like a sword or something, well then what do you do? This is what I was thinking. Maybe Whirlwind, because you Whirlwind through them and you kind of just tag them all with the slow. But then Whirlwind, the attack rating on Whirlwind is so stinky and so unreliable that, like, can you even be certain of tagging them all? This is a very lightly populated Worldstone Keep, by the way. This place can be, like, hellish. But this is just kind of chill. Yeah, extra juvies, always nice. Just fill up the belt. Continue on. Alright, here we go. The fun police, these little shits. But with this much slow, with knockback, with the curse, look at them. They are not having a fun time there. Ooh. Sorry lads, the fun police is here, the Cripplezon is here. Ah, that's a potential imbue for Chassis. I think you got to imbue either like Boots or Tiara. I mean, if you're a melee character, I could maybe like, look, quote unquote, wasting your imbue is not going to scuff your run. But the safest thing to imbue is Boots. But if you're a melee character, I could definitely see like finding an elite base and just rolling the dice on getting a half decent rare, especially if you're high level. Odds are it's not going to be any good, but the same, you know, you can also get terrible boots, and you can wait until level 99 and imbue a circlet and get nothing either. Like, you know, really, if you want good circlets, gamble for them with a high level character. Yeah, so we just spray some multi-shot in there. The mana cost kind of sucks because there's on the skeletons and we can't leech. Throw Al-Hazir a full juvie because he's getting... he was taking quite a lot of damage there, but now he's fine. And we just thin them out. Like, again, I don't like being in the middle of a group while you're strafing, but you know, when they're this kind of straggly and like they're kind of in shambles, it's fine. We'll just throw the Valk down there. All it costs is mana. It's the safest thing to do. Always throw the Valk. Like if you're playing hardcore or something, you know, always throw the Valk around corners. Always like spam multi-shot around corners, like into the dark. Like see how many of them I just tagged with multi-shot and just slowed them, and then it just gave me like plenty of time to kite back. But yeah, just use these tools. I was saying, like, so I've got a Bariza, I've got an Eagle Horn, which is such a good bow. Mainly because of the massive amount of attack rating it gives. It's one of the few bows that, like, can just kind of work well with multi-shot, like out of the box. Like I think Bariza is still the strongest bow for multi-shot, and Bariza's kind of too slow for strafe, so you sort of have to build it for multi-shot. But you need to do something about your attack rating. Like you need those gloves that give you enchant, or an enchant mercenary, or ideally the gloves that do enchant and a blessed aim merc with hustle, just to like absolutely max out your attack rating. You're going to have a lot of decks just to like hold the Bariza, even especially if you upgrade it. But because it puts 100% pierce on your multi-shot, like, ooh, it's good. So what you tend to do, or at least what I would tend to do in the old days with the Bariza, was like, you know, spam multi-shot until like all of the runts are dead, like all just the chaff, the ads, and maybe there's just some elites left, and then you just, you know, punch them down with guided arrow, which guided arrow used to be really good in, I think it was 1.8. Possibly interesting base here. Also, that's a nice ring. 7 to minimum damage is a decent chunk when it's off weapon. 76 to attack rating is a good chunk. Life Leech is good, and Lightning Resist is good. I'm gonna hold on to that. That's a nice little ring. I'm pretty chuffed to have found that. But yeah, let's take a look at this. I mean, 3 socket, it's kind of... it's a hustle base, I guess, but... you know. I just wanted to get this waypoint, because I know it's like one of the really easy waypoints to get. Like, when you know where the exit is, it's always just straight. But yeah, look at this, just cruising through the Worldstone Keep. How long have I even been on this act? It's not that long. Yeah, just 2 hours. We're coming up on the Throne of Destruction now. Well, 3rd level of the Worldstone Keep. Maybe this is the one that's going to be full of... That's so freaking dangerous. Extra fast elemental mages with Defiance. We're just going to do this so safe from like hugely long range, even if I have to like eat all my mana pots. How freaking dangerous that was! Like, if I see a boss mob like that with my sorceress who actually has like, you know, good gear and is like level 92 or something, you know, with like a fully geared up Act 3 mercenary. He's got the obedience. He's got like Gladiator's Bane. He's got like a Worm Skull. You know, he's got good stuff. Look how many of these little shits there are. Yeah, sometimes multi-shot will thin out the really big groups a little bit better. And then look at this. It's so dense, and we just go through. And like have a good time. This seems like the Worldstone Keep, if you have a safe build, seems like a good place for like elite bases. Like, oh, Cryptic Axe. You know, it's not ethereal or anything, but you could roll sockets into it. Take a look at this. Pretty cool. Is this ethereal or... it's ethereal. Yeah, so we want to poke with multi-shot around the corner. Nice and safe. Nice and slow. There's a Might Aura around here somewhere. We're going to try to quickly deal with these jerks first. I can like throw some multi-shot just down here just to kind of keep them like tagged and slowed. Go to the corner. Go to the corner. Go to the corner. Go stand in the corner. No, you're not allowed out of the... You're in timeout. Go to the corner. Go to the corner. Go to the corner. And that might group is still over there, but I'm just going to have a poke around here, see if there's any mana potions, which of course there won't be, but because I need them. And RNG is a hateful and evil mechanic that has a personal grievance against me and wants me to suffer. That's just how RNG works. Like, I know for everyone else it's random, but it's not for me. I don't know. I offended the RNG gods in like a previous level. I think we all did, secretly. Just playing a little bit of bullet hell here. Didn't really want to run in there, but... Whoa, okay. Calm down, ladies. Alright, let's go get the boy. I can get this curse off. I just don't want him to lose EXP, as crazy as that sounds. Because we definitely kill them without him, but...
What is it?
I need mana anyway.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, maybe we'll actually just go 2 rows of mana, because... we're kind of sitting pretty for life here. And we just tag them nicely with the slow. I'd like to kind of sneak into this corner if I can. It's a little bit... yeah, it's not going to work. Because I want to get the benefits of the Pierce. But at this point, we just kind of want to kill one and then move on to the next. Actually, if I can get in here... yeah, so now I can just, like, hit one with strafe. Oh, they're immune to physical. Okay, no wonder they're taking such a chunk in. We really got to get the curse on them. But yeah, once the curse goes on, they fall over nice and comfy. Tanky. But that's fine. I could upgrade this bow if I want. It's a 60 damage bow and it's clearing Act 5 hell. Curse, 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 curse. This is what I mean. See, when I say RNG just hates me. Curse, curse, please. 5% chance. 5% chance. I've shot like 200 arrows. 5% chance. 5% chance. 5% chance. 5% chance. No. No. This is why we can't have nice things. We just cannot proc the curse on this. Oh, I don't think you can curse possessed. Stupid mechanic, but it is what it is. So we'll just very, very slowly chip them down. Could just ignore them. Don't want to. On your bike. Get out. That's enough. Yeah, making enemies that are immune to the curse is some dirty ass shit. Because it's literally the only thing that makes playing a melee character in this game not, like, pure suffering. And now it's just like, you know, we let you have this one mechanic that's good. One. Everything else is stacked against you and sucks for you. Like, often with, like, 6 or 7 layers of just like deepening you know, grades of misery all packed into like the one thing, you know, like, you know, describing how much damage mitigation enemies have, for example. It's like, first it's based on just your chance to hit them. So let's say your sword does, you know, 500 damage a second, right? Just a random number, right? But now it's only got a 70% chance to hit. Well, it doesn't do 500 damage per second. It does 70% of that. And then it's in hell, so it does 50% less, because everything has base 50% physical immunity. So, you know, now your sword is doing way, way freaking less than like half of what it actually says. But, cherry on top, shit can also block. So they have a third. Like, I wish I, as a player, had that much, had that much, like, you know, separate damage gates. And I know in theory you kind of do, but like, let's be realistic. Unless you like disgustingly overlevel yourself for every. Okay, this is just horrible. We just need to focus on one side a little bit, clear that out, and then clear the other side. And then, you know, once I have a kind of base, like just one sight line. And then that's just how we clear this out. Like, we just clear one sight line at a time, nice and safe. The enemies are, like, not even that serious. I mean, I guess Oblivion Knights are pretty freaking terrible, but... Like, these harpies can already put amp damage. So this is right. I should have come down here and, like... Yeah, let's see if we can actually do that now. We'll just clear... So we'll actually clear this sightline properly. Yeah, this is the last place in the game. So, like, why rush? Play a little bit of bullet hell, and it's not even that, you know, troublesome because their projectiles are like, the speed at which they hurl the projectiles is so slow. You got plenty of time to dodge. It's not bullet hell. It's kind of like, I don't know. Look how safe. Oh, we've got Unravelers in here. What a Wildstone Keep. At least there's nothing for them to res. This is Players 3, Wildstone Keep, with a 60 damage bow in hell. Just for anyone who's curious about how freaking good slow and like open wounds and stuff like that is. And the curse. The curse is freaking everything. Like, you see them winding up, it's so slow, it's so... they're getting healed, yeah, because of this jerk. And I don't want to be here, because... That's literally the opposite of controlling the sightline. But if he's going to run away... Oh, I let my mercenary die, my bad. It's fine. The Valk can tank just fine. Like, look at everything just... clumping around the Valk, and now I just get so much free value out of Pierce. You know, one curse proc just hits them all. They actually start taking like serious damage, even from the 60 damage bow. I do kind of miss the attack rating buff of my mercenary, but we'll go back and get him later. Throw the Valk in there. Let her pull all the aggro. Like, I wouldn't normally come all the way up here, but the game kind of pulled me up here. We just summon a new Valk. I 100% pressed the button to summon a new Valk, but nothing happened, but that's fine. They're all so slow. Wow, that is a lot of stuff. A lot of horrible stuff. And somehow the Valk just thugs it out because it was slow. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to get my mercenary just for the attack rating and attack speed boost. Also, he can kill some stuff now that it's all slowed. He shouldn't be dying too quick. But as I said, I really didn't want to... Yes, we've done like none of the quests because like fuck all the quests in Act 5. Like...
Yes, warrior.
I do not need Rao or Tal again. I did the Anya one for the resistances.
Good evening.
Actually, no, I did get the, sockets. So I could chuck a socket in something, but not that bothered. Let me just check arrows. Yeah, I got loads of arrows. We're good. Back down we go. And because we were gone for a little bit, the slow had worn off. Normally the slow lasts for a good long time. But look, now look at this. It's just, clear speed is so much better. Oh, that's cool. Always nice to see a rare elite, but the requirements of the Gorgon crossbow are so silly. Yeah, I kind of want to stand close to these jerks, so we just kind of spray them down, get them out of here. Rare ring, very cool. And easy. What do we got here? Bunch of crap. What do we got here? Ah, if only that actually had some ED on it. That would be so good. Like, even with like 150 ED or something, that would be quite a decent little weapon. Alright. Just stock up on the old potions. What do we got here? Another heal. Another heal. Yeah. And we just keep clearing the Worldstone Keep. And I'm not, like, even concerned in the slightest about the Bale Waves, apart from maybe the Unravelers. Oh, there's a Might group of Unravelers, and that's like... I hate the range they have, because it's just pulled me, like... I don't want to fight them, but I kind of have to. Yeah, we just come around, we bully this one guy. And look at this, it's not even that slow. Like, the Mercenary has a hustle in an elite base, but doesn't have the greatest ED roll. But he's got just, like, really basic stuff. The Valk does damage, she's level 20. Yeah, we kind of just want to poke everything. Get it all kind of activated and turned on. And look, once everything is slowed, you're just chilling. Like, they can't kill the Valk. If they do, I just resummon her. Like, they're just depressed, they're sad, they can't do anything. And I love it. Because normally, when you play a non-caster in this game, you're depressed, you're sad, you can't do it. This is kind of bugging me though, like just like having one dickhead in this corner, like messing with the damage on Strafe. This is why I say, like, I wish Strafe had like a like hold to aim, release to activate mechanic, where like you hold and it shows you like a cone, and then you release to like strafe at any enemies in that cone. That would make Strafe so much better than it is. And also potentially make Strafe a really viable ability to use even in hardcore, like without using like crazy cheese like I'm using right here. But I love cheese, so I don't mind cheese. Because these jerks are extra fast, we just want to tag them, and then we just kind of take our time. This guy's just, he's not having a good time. I don't even think he can... Ooh, okay. And a Colossus Roll is really nice. Let me go back for some mana. Get this curse off. Yeah, I was thinking about imbuing that. There's nothing you can make in that to socket. So... that ring I do want to hold on to.
Hello.
If I had my Hell Imbue, I would just go imbue that now, but since I have to switch to Nightmare, it's not worth it. Arrows, arrows, arrows. I always freaking forget to get arrows.
Can I help you?
pretty happy that I didn't that time. Alright. Lovely. 500 should be enough.
I am overburdened.
You're going to be an ethereal 5 socket. So these guys may be a worry, but I feel like with enough... Yeah, so I have to kind of pick off these guys a little bit, but maybe the play is actually just to multi-shot them. So this was a wave that I was kind of worried about a little bit, because poison is like, you know,
Afternoon. Good day.
strong poison in hell is one of the most busted things in this game, and it does not give a shit about poison resistance, especially on a mercenary. For some reason my mercenary just wants to sit in a corner. But yeah, the main thing here is just to like pick off these unravelers if we can. It takes a little while because they're very freaking tanky, but we try to keep everything slowed and just chunk it down. Yeah, I hate how these guys like spread out and then I just can't use strafe properly because the game just, I don't know. Again, it's just like, if they ever look at this game, like, please just fix like everything about melee characters. Like, give them abilities that like allow for skill expression and stuff like that without, you know, because like multi-shot allows for skill expression, but it's unusable because of the, you know, just because of the way attack rating works. But it's like strafe is usable, but strafe is just auto aim with 0 skill expression and no way to, like, the skill expression for strafe is kind of in your positioning, but like, positioning is not something you control, right? Like, I can't magically make these guys not run to every corner of the room. And I can't permanently kill them because they get rezzed. But it's fine. Like I said, I was concerned about this, and it's grindy, it's a little bit slow, but we're getting it done.
I am overburdened.
Get some more energy.
I am overburdened.
Who asked you to pick it up? No one. Oh. Oh, that's just 5 socket. It's not ethereal. Still, it's a really good base for an obedience or something. So we might hold on to that. Oh, we've already got this. But I think the Cryptic Axe is a better base. I'm not 100%. I got enough arrows. Fine. There should be some arrows lying around as well. Floor arrows. Oh, that's cool. So a little bit worried about these guys, mainly because, yeah, Hydra is broken and has never been fixed. But it does like 12 times as much damage to mercenaries. And this, them healing each other, could make it very hard to actually chip them down. But, okay, so now that I've actually got them all slowed, I'll bring my mercenary back for extra damage. Because once they're slowed, they're not going to be able to just delete them. I mean, the Hydras still will, which is just terrible, and I hate it, but what are you going to do? Yeah. Their heal animation takes so long when they're slowed. That's kind of like their ace in the hole, and you just sort of take it away. And we just chip them all down like This is not even slow for this wave, considering they can all heal each other. And this is one of those waves where, like, you can just be, like, hard locked out of being able to kill this wave because you just don't have the DPS. You can't kill them quick enough. And it's the same thing with the Council and Travancore. But not for this 60 damage bow. Now these guys are scary, and we are going to spray so much multi-shot just to kind of try to quickly tag everyone with slow. And now look how comfortable this is. Look how safe this is. Like, these are the hardest things in the game. Like, not these guys. The minions destruction coming up. I'm not concerned about the minions. I'm concerned about these jokes because I have minus 32 fire resistance. And they're very fast, and I'm worried that they might, like, just physically get to me. But, look. They can't do anything. All they can do is just be really depressed. And that's how I like it. Oh, extra fast. Hello. But, like, look, the multi-shot. The slow. The terrifying minions of destruction. Players 3 minions of destruction. This could be players 8, it's just a matter of time. I have prevent monster heal, I have, like, the tools to kill them on players 8, if I wanted to. I'd probably have to go back to town to arrows, but... Like, look, they're just dying. They can't kill the mercenary, they can't kill the Valk. The Merc is just chunking them quite nicely if they have the curse on them. And it's just a matter of finding, like, a good angle to, like, strafe through the crowd. The Valk is tanking all of them, and she does not care. Slow is the best thing in this game that you can put on a Boazon. Not Wind Forced, not a Barisa, slow. 100%. No contest. It's not even Lister. Lister died like an anonymous monster death. I didn't even see him die. He was just completely disgraced. Yeah, you wouldn't be like an ethereal 3-socket, would you? Alright. You know what would be cool? Even like 3 mana potions and then I would go straight to Baal. But, guess what? RNG hates me, secretly. Hates me. No, it doesn't. It hates me a little bit. But anyway, we're going to get this curse. This freaking hell curse lasts for 75,000 years. We'll all die of freaking old age before we can go take Baal on.
Salutations.
Welcome to my shop. And slow just breaks Baal. He can't do anything. So I don't, like, even if he summons a clone, I don't even know if I'll, like,
Afternoon.
you know, portal back. And I should definitely get some town portals. But yeah, this is it. We've cleared hell. This has been always on either, like, obviously no one saw me playing through Nightmare, but Nightmare was always on a combination of players 5 or players 3. Hell has been consistently on players 3 with a 60 damage bow. And just going through and clearing it comfortably, safely. And this is kind of like the only scary thing, I guess, in the game. Get the freaking tentacles out of here. I'm trying to put guided arrow on. So yeah, see how I can, like, shoot a guided arrow at Bale and not hit him, even though guided arrow, like, quote unquote, always hits? That's because he has block chance. But, like, look at this, just a little bit of crushing blow and get the curse on him, and he starts getting chunked. And I can just keep it on there. But I'm going to get, because the Mercenary and the Valk will do a lot of damage if they can actually, like, get up on Val, especially with him amp damage. So we'll get rid of the clone. But I wanted people, you know, anyone who was watching to just see that, like, the clone doesn't matter. When you have slow, it's irrelevant. Wait, why is the clone still there? How long do I have to frickin'... Alright. Diablo 2. How long to despawn Baal clone? We just have like a bugged clone? We do. Well, that's fun. I'm just going to throw the occasional tracking arrow at that guy to keep the slow on him. I'm pretty sure this is the real Baal, but I could be wrong. This is like super painful and annoying that I can't just despawn the clone, but you know, it is what it is. He's still getting nicely chunked. I don't mind. And if I can get the curse on him... Getting the curse on him is extremely difficult because... Apparently I have a 70% chance to hit on strafe, which is about the same chance I supposedly have to hit on, like, you know, monsters that I hit consistently. I can't hit this guy consistently. Even with tracking arrow, I can't hit this guy consistently because, you know, block chance needs to be a thing. Really shouldn't be a thing. Like, if you've ever wondered why casters just do so much more damage than melee characters, 100% that's why. Because... So, everything has resistances in this game, and everything in Hell has physical resist. Everything in Hell has 50%, at least 50% physical resist. A lot of things have more, but at least. And everything has, like, at least, you know, 50... 70% like elemental resist. Yeah, Baal is just sad. He literally can't do anything. He's just being bullied by the mercenary and the Valk. And I'm just like consistently keeping open wounds on him. But my actual chance to hit him, like for realsies, is so low that I can't even consistently keep the curse procced on him. And that's all due to his block chance. Oh, that was the clone. Of course it was the fucking clone. Now he can summon another one if he wants to. Little prick. That's fine. That's fine. It's just time.
Hello.
It's just time. And we've come this far. But yeah. So if you're ever wondering why a caster can just like, you know, throw out a frozen orb and it just kills everything. And you're like, hold on, they have element, like even stuff that isn't called immune still has a lot of resistance in Hell, right? That's what you're thinking. Yeah, that's true. But your cold spell always hits. Your melee attack doesn't. Your cold spell hits 10 things. Your melee attack hits, you know, 1, maybe 3, maybe 5. You know? And on those, like, maybe 3, maybe 5, probably 1 things that you even can hit. There's a chance you just don't hit. And then if you do hit, they still have 50% resistance. And then even if you do hit, they can just block and negate all your damage. Like, you know, this is why casters are just so much better in this game. But, you know, casters can't use slow. They kind of can. Necromancers can. Necromancers are the strongest thing in the game, but whatever. I don't think anyone is disputing that, you know, a properly, like, pimped out Necro with, like, all their summons up, you know, with auras, with everything min-max. They've got might, they've got fanaticism, they've got thorns, they've got the whole shebang. And then minions can just kind of walk in on players 8 and just beat up rooms, sort of the scariest stuff in the game, on their own. And then it's like, even if they couldn't, you still have Corpse Explosion. Yeah, like, look how long it takes me to just get a Curse proc. Even just spamming Tracking Arrow, which is, like, very fast and should always hit, but it doesn't, because, you know, melee characters are hated by the devs. But this is fine. As long as I can, like, relatively consistently keep open wounds on him, he will just be chunked down very slowly, but very certainly. Bal is such a freaking damage sponge in this game. Like, we kill Isuel really quite quickly. Diablo went down pretty quick, not even a problem. Mephisto and Dario, comfy fights, fairly easy. This guy's just made of bricks, and a big chunk of it is just that block chance. He does also have, like, criminally high resistances.
Good evening.
Oh, do I need arrows? No. Should be fine. Oh, very nice lock there. With the curse. Like, every time you see some, like, red or blue on my character, that's when they're actually hitting. And look how often, even with Tracking Arrow, you won't see that. Because he just blocks. He just blocks so much. But it doesn't matter. He's harmless. And now he's dead. And that's that. That's the whole game. Cleared safely with a 60 damage bow. Where's my portal, boy? Get me out of here. And that's that. Not a great achievement or anything. It's not hardcore. If it was hardcore, I've died like 3 times. But, hey, it's cool. So now I'll probably respec this Amazon to be like a Jabazon or something, so she can go actually do useful things. But just to celebrate, I'm tempted to upgrade this because it just hanged and it did such a good job. Alright, so let me see what I actually need to upgrade that. I've definitely got the Pul rune. I think it's Pul and Doll or something, but make certain. Yeah, upgrade unique. And you know, the whole point of like one of the reasons of doing this run was like, I know you can clear hell with this bow because it's so good and so underrated. Even on the exceptional base. if you support it right, like you have, you know, amp damage and, you know, a bit of crushing blow. You don't need gore, right? A goblin toast is fine. But you want like Clegs and Black Dawns for the extra slow. Clegs is probably enough on its own. I just went full slow for like the funsies. So it's Lum, Pull, Perfect Emerald. Alright. There's the pull. We got a Lum here. Got a Lamb. Lum, Lum, Lum. And... yeah. Beautiful. And... pretty much just flat doubled our damage, which, you know, also means that, you know, like let's say I get a Might Aura now instead of Blessed Aim. That's actually kind of going to be a meaningful buff. But I'm thinking like where to go just to kind of test this out. Maybe Bone Ash, yeah. So let's just go see how this does without even having the Might Aura. This is still players 3 hell, and this bow actually like putting in some damage now. When stuff gets amp damage, it will just like look at poor old Sinbang, just not having a good time. Absolutely crumples. Oh, I have... oh, this is the barracks. Hold on. I wanted to go to the inner cloister and go have a little chatamundo with Bone Ash, the boy, the man with like 60 affixes. Oh, hello. Oh, this is a boss pack of archers. It's scary. We have a curse on us. They have a curse on them now. And they're apparently just not that scary anymore. But yeah, see, like, you just spray safe. Like, oh, everything's been sprayed down. Now these guys super dangerous. I do have some lightning absorb, so I shouldn't just get like insta one tapped, but like look at the scary ghosts, and they're just like, oh really? No, go away, ghost. I'm sorry. We do need to proc a curse. But there we go. Curse proc. Dose dead. Shaman. Go home. Where's the boy? There he is. Yeah, just get slowed. Get slowed. Be sad. Be depressed. And look at him. Look, he's so sad. He's so depressed. You almost feel bad for him. That's Endless Hail? Game's like, oh, you want a strafe? Take this. Okay, let's see. I mean, it's a bow. With the ghosts, it really is just about waiting for that curse proc, and sometimes RNG just won't. But see, you get into a better angle, and the odds of getting the proc just like skyrocket, because now it's like each arrow is hitting 2 people, so it's a 10% chance per arrow instead of a 5% chance, and you know, life is just good. Everything about this build is based on position. But that was totally awesome, really worthy to get that upgraded. The damage, like, it might look low, but it just isn't. Not with this setup. I mean, you just saw what it did there. Is it elite? Is it win force? No. Like,
Oh, hi there.
oh, hi, doggy. But yeah, like, I don't want to play with win force if I can't stack slow. Like, to hell with playing with enemies that go at normal speed. Like, one of the cool things, one of the few cool things that a Boazon can do is be the best user of slow and knockback in this game. So, you know, why not? Why not stack it? Anyway, that's it for me, and that is it for the Cripplezon. If anyone is interested. And, you know, just as a, like, show of, like, oh, yeah, I've got this, but I don't really need it. You know, like, when I was playing through the game, I would be like, I don't actually need resistances because nothing can really hit you. And, you know, we'll just take that off. Like, we did this with a Hustle originally and, you know, had 10 resist all instead of this. It was just no, you know, just no worries. Like, I would take the boots off to be like, you know, I can still chunk these guys without having Crushing Bow. It's all about the curse and the open wounds. And, you know, did that, and it was just fine. It's just, if you ever sitting there to yourself and you're just like, you know, I just want to play a Bozon and have a good time, but I can't because, like, the game, you know, the game just hates physical damage characters. And it's like, just play it like this. Like, you know, the game hates you and it wants you to suffer. You need to, like, spread some suffering back. You know? You'd be a little bit evil. And it's super fun. Anyway, take care, Internet. Thanks for watching, anyone who did. I saw a couple of people tuned in. Always cool. And maybe I'll put some other build through next time. Or just do more Mephisto runs. More Loot Diary.